American League, Baltimore Orioles. Let's kick things off with the Orioles. This name isn't random, it's actually a shout-out to Maryland's state bird, the Baltimore Oriole. The name dates way back in local baseball history, and when the St. Louis Browns packed their bags for Baltimore in 1954, they made sure to bring the bird back with them. A perfect local fit. Boston Red Sox. Now here's a classic. The Red Sox were originally the Boston Americans, but that changed in 1908. The team picked up the Red Sox name from, you guessed it, the red stockings they wore. Back then, it was trendy to name teams after uniform colors, and Sox instead of socks. That's just old-school newspaper headline shorthand. Chicago White Sox. Speaking of socks, Chicago's team started as the White Stockings. But like Boston, they trimmed it down to White Sox. It wasn't just about looking cool, it made writing headlines easier. Gotta love those early 1900s editors, Cleveland Guardians. This one's a recent switch. The team was the Indians for over a century, but in 2021, they became the Guardians. The new name? It's inspired by the Guardians of Traffic statues on Cleveland's Hope Memorial Bridge. It's all about local pride and moving forward. Detroit Tigers. The Tigers' name has some bite. It likely comes from the Detroit Light Guard, a fierce military unit nicknamed the Tigers. When the baseball team adopted the name, it symbolized the same kind of strength and tradition. Houston Astros. This one's out of this world, literally. The team started as the Colt 45s, but in 1965, they rebranded as the Astros to highlight Houston's role in the US space program. With NASA right around the corner, the name felt like a natural launch. Kansas City Royals. The Royals name wasn't picked at random, it was chosen by fans in a contest. It pays tribute to the American Royal, a legendary livestock and horse show held in Kansas City since the late 1800s. Royalty and rodeos? That's KC for you. Los Angeles Angels. Los Angeles literally means the Angels in Spanish. So when the team was founded in 1961, they went with the obvious and fitting choice. The Angels. Sometimes simplicity is king. Minnesota Twins. When the Senators moved to Minnesota in 1961, they had to come up with a new name. The result? The Twins, named for the Twin Cities, Minneapolis and St. Paul. Their logo even shows two players shaking hands across the Mississippi River. Unity, baby. New York Yankees. The Yankees weren't always the Yankees. They began as the New York Highlanders, but in 1913, the team made the switch. Yankees was already a popular nickname for Americans, and it just felt right. A strong, patriotic brand that stuck. Oakland Athletics. The A's have history, lots of it. Their name goes back to the Athletic Club of Philadelphia from the 1860s. Athletic was a nod to the sporting spirit. And that elephant mascot? It came from a rival's insult. Instead of getting mad, the team embraced it. Bold move. Seattle Mariners. Seattle's love for the sea is no secret. That's why when the team launched in 1977, the name Mariners, picked through a fan contest, was the perfect fit. It's a tribute to the city's strong maritime roots. Tampa Bay Rays. Tampa's baseball team began as the Devil Rays in 1998. But in 2008, they dropped the Devil and became the Rays. A nod to both the sea creature and the Florida sunshine. Texas Rangers. When the second incarnation of the Washington Senators moved to Texas, they rebranded as the Rangers. The name honors the famous law enforcement group, the Texas Rangers. It's bold, tough, and very Texan. Toronto Blue Jays. Canada's only MLB team needed a name that fit, and in 1976, fans picked Blue Jays. Not only is the bird native to Canada, but it also matched the blue branding of their parent company, Labatt. Bonus points for brand synergy. The name Blue Jays stood out from other team names, combining sharp visual imagery with regional relevance. The bird itself is known for being intelligent, feisty, and loud, traits that resonated well with the energy of a new franchise. The team's vibrant blue uniforms and logo quickly became iconic, giving fans across Canada a bold identity to rally behind. From the very beginning, the Blue Jays were more than just Toronto's team. They became a national symbol. National League. Arizona Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks are one of MLB's newer teams, debuting in 1998. The name, chosen by fans, honors the western diamondback rattlesnake, a desert dweller that's as fierce as the team hoped to be. Atlanta Braves. The Braves name dates all the way back to Boston in 1912, where it originally referred to a Native American warrior. The team carried it through moves to Milwaukee and finally to Atlanta. It's a name with legacy, though not without controversy. Chicago Cubs. The Cubs didn't get their name from the animal directly. Back in the early 1900s, the team had a lot of young players, so folks started calling them the Cubs, as in baby bears. The name caught on and never left. Cincinnati Reds. Cincinnati was home to the first professional baseball team, the Red Stockings. Over time, that got shortened to the Reds. It's a name steeped in history, going all the way back to 1869. Colorado Rockies. This one's easy. The team launched in 1993 and went with a name that screams Colorado, the Rockies. Los Angeles Dodgers. The Dodgers weren't always in LA, and they weren't always the Dodgers. Back in Brooklyn, fans had to dodge trolleys just to get to games, hence the Trolley Dodgers. Eventually, it got shortened and the name stuck when they moved west. Miami Marlins. Originally the Florida Marlins, the team changed to the Miami Marlins in 2012. Their name comes from the marlin, a sleek, speedy fish common in Florida waters. It's a nod to the state's deep connection to the sea. Milwaukee Brewers. Milwaukee and beer go hand in hand, so when it came time to name the team, Brewers was a no-brainer. It celebrates the city's rich brewing tradition. Cheers to that. New York Mets. The Mets name is short for Metropolitans. It was chosen to represent the broader New York City area and also gave a subtle nod to the city's past NL teams, the Dodgers and Giants. Philadelphia Phillies. This one's straightforward. Phillies is just a nickname for people from Philadelphia. The team's had it since 1883, making it one of the longest-running names in pro sports. No frills, just Philly. Pittsburgh Pirates. Back in 1891, Pittsburgh got accused of pirating a player from another team. Instead of denying it, they leaned in, and the name Pirates was born. Talk about turning a negative into a brand. San Diego Padres. Padres means fathers in Spanish, and it's a tribute to the Spanish missionaries who founded San Diego. It's one of the more unique names in the league, steeped in local history. San Francisco Giants. Before they were Giants in San Francisco, they were the New York Gothams. But in 1885, a manager supposedly called his players Giants after a big win, and the name stuck. When the team moved west, they brought the name and the legacy with them. The term Giants not only symbolized physical size, but also suggested power, dominance, and ambition, qualities the team came to embody. The move to San Francisco in 1958 marked a new era, but the name helped preserve a deep connection to their roots. Fans embraced the identity, and the towering presence of the Golden Gate Bridge became a perfect backdrop for a team named the Giants. Over the years, the name has taken on even greater meaning, representing a long-standing tradition of success and resilience. St. Louis Cardinals. The Cardinals got their name thanks to a sports writer who admired their uniform's bright red stockings. He described the color as a lovely shade of cardinal, and just like that, the name was born. The comment stuck with fans and quickly caught on as the team's new identity. It didn't take long before Cardinals became synonymous with baseball excellence in St. Louis. The vivid color stood out on the field, creating a bold, memorable look that matched the team's growing reputation. Over time, the name evolved into more than just a reference to a uniform. It became a symbol of tradition and pride. Washington Nationals. The Nationals picked up their name in 2005 when the Expos moved from Montreal. The name Nationals wasn't new. It had been used in DC before, and it fits perfectly with the identity of the nation's capital. The choice was both nostalgic and symbolic, reconnecting fans with a bygone era of Washington baseball. It also helped establish a fresh identity without completely severing ties to the city's past sports culture. Enjoyed this deep dive into baseball history? Make sure to like, share, and hit that subscribe button for more stories from the world of sports. And hey, drop a comment below and tell us which team's name origin surprised you the most.